Hi there, it's Alicia Taverner, licensed marriage and family therapist and owner of Rancho Counseling. Thanks so much for tuning in. In my last two videos, I talked about what a process group is and what the structure of a group like that is. And more specifically, I talked a little bit more about what the structure of my Mindful Mums group looks like. And then in my second video, I talked about what mindfulness is, and I actually provided a little exercise on mindfulness for you to check it out and see if that's something that you're interested in. And so if you haven't already done so, I want to encourage you to check out the last two videos because I just want to help provide you with an overview about this whole group process. In this video, I'm going to be giving you an overview of what it would be like for you on your first day of group. I'm a pretty strong introvert, and so I know that coming into a group setting can be a little bit anxiety provoking. And so I just want you to know what to expect, what things are going to look like, so that you feel a little bit more comfortable in a process like this. And even if you aren't an introvert, I know that sometimes starting something new or putting yourself in a new situation can bring up the fear of the unknown. And so on your first day of group, you'll come into the office, and I'm going to give you a little quick tour of the office so that you're acquainted with the space before you even walk in. So we are in suite 124. This is the outside of the office. I know it says Terra Vista Counseling, but Rancho Counseling shares an office with Terra Vista. So you'll walk into our suite on your first day of group, and you'll come into the waiting room. So this is what our waiting room looks like. You'll have a seat. Sometimes there's a receptionist behind here, and you can push on the white button to the right just to let someone know that you're here, and they'll say have a seat, and group will start in a bit. And then when it's time to start group, you'll walk into this door. My office is here, the second door, and then you'll just come on in. This is the office. Of course, I'll have a couple more chairs to accommodate all group members. And so before group starts, I'll offer you something to drink, and then you'll get seated. The first thing that I talk about with all of my groups is group confidentiality. I like to explain a little bit about my license and what a mandated reporter is, but most importantly, I'll welcome you into the space, into this brave space. There's like an open space, but there's also a brave space, and that's the term that I prefer. A brave space is a place where you can feel open to share and ask questions, anything that might be coming up for you during your time in the group. And you're not going to feel like what you're saying is dumb or, that you're going to be judged for any of the things that you share. So after that, I like to go around and do introductions. I'll ask you to share your name and a little bit about yourself, like, how many kids do you have? And then maybe a question like, what made you decide to join this group? Next, I like to start with an exercise on mindfulness. And for my first session, I like to do an activity that really illustrates what anxiety and overwhelm does to us as moms. And I'm not going to share the specifics of that activity because I want you to hop in and join with us, but it's a really great exercise. And then after the exercise, we'll talk about it. We'll go around and share what comes up for each group member and how this kind of relates to their own life. And this is when things get really good in terms of the connection. And this is when group members start to share openly about what they're going through. And sometimes it can take a week or so to start to feel comfortable opening up, and that's really okay. It's totally understandable. But from what I've learned, you can't really get support from other people unless you show up with a willingness to be open to share. And, I like to encourage that, but the atmosphere here is really open and it's inviting. And then last, I like to finish with a quick meditation. I like all group members to feel leaving centered and focused on what's important. And that's it. We say our goodbyes until the next group session. When mamas start in my Mindful Mums group, they're typically feeling lonely, they feel stressed out, they feel anxious, and they feel like everyone around them is doing a better job at parenting than they are. A lot of times they feel like they're just exhausted, and they tell me, Alicia, I feel like I should just have a better handle on this whole mother thing or this whole mother thing by now. They tend to beat themselves up for not being present, and they say that they feel stuck in their heads all the time. And then something magical happens. The moms in group come together and they start opening up and expressing their fears and their anxieties, and they start to learn that they're not alone. By connecting with the other people in group, they see themselves in the other moms, and they understand that a lot more people than just themselves are going through something like this. And then they learn how to regulate and sift through their emotions and their anxieties. They start applying the mindful techniques that we learn in group, and they come back and they share how this is impacting them, how this is changing their life, and how this is changing their ability to be present with their kids, with their husbands, and with the rest of their family. And just overall, they start to express how much better their life is. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful to be able to provide moms with an empowering experience like this. And so, if this sounds like you, I just want you to know that there is support for you too. So I just want to encourage you to click above and complete the application for a screening call. I do a quick phone call. It usually takes about 10-15 minutes just to make sure that you're right for group, that group is right for you. But I want to make sure that you do it ASAP, because we're starting this group series this coming Thursday and spots are filling up quick. So I hope that's giving you an overview of what the group process is like, what mindfulness is, and what you can expect on your first day of group. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope to talk with you soon.